Welcome to this MediByte explainer. Today, we're going to dive into something really profound and honestly often misunderstood: how trauma can make us feel disconnected from our own bodies and, in the end, from our very selves. And this isn't just a vague feeling, it's a real physiological process that we're going to unpack together. This quote is from way back in 1884, but it captures a feeling that's shockingly common for people who've been through trauma. It's not just about being sad or scared, it's this terrifying emptiness, a sense that you're a stranger inside your own skin. And this isn't some metaphor, it's a real physical state that starts deep, deep inside the body. Okay, so the first thing we really need to get is that trauma isn't just some bad memory you replay in your head. As Dr. Bessel Kolk so brilliantly explains in his book, The Body Keeps the Score, trauma literally leaves an imprint on your mind, your brain, and especially your body. It actually reorganizes your whole nervous system. So what does that actually look like in real life? Well, it means your body's alarm system gets stuck in the on position. Long after any real danger is past, your body is still pumping out stress hormones, your muscles stay clenched, your heart is racing. You're basically living in a state of high alert, constantly fighting a threat that isn't there anymore. So you might be asking, why? Why does this happen? Well, this deep sense of disconnection, it's not a personal failure or a sign of weakness. It's actually a survival mechanism. It's rooted in real measurable changes in the brain, a tragic adaptation designed to help you survive something unbearable. But man, it comes at a huge cost. All right, this slide gets us into the nitty-gritty of the brain. We're looking at a key player here, the medial prefrontal cortex, or MPFC for short. The best way to think about it is like your brain's internal watchtower. It's the part that's constantly observing what's going on inside you, your gut feelings, your heartbeat, your emotions, and it kind of weaves them all together into that feeling of, me. And this is where it gets really wild. Research shows that after a traumatic event, something remarkable happens. To block out those completely overwhelming feelings of terror and helplessness, that watchtower, it literally goes dark. It shuts down. And that's the real tragedy here. In an attempt to block out the terror, the brain also shuts off its ability to register all the good stuff: joy, connection, and the very sensations that make us feel fully alive. So this ability to feel what's going on inside you, it actually has a name. It's called interoception. Think of it like our eighth sense. And when that MPFC watchtower goes offline, our interoception is seriously compromised. We kind of lose our internal compass, which makes it incredibly hard to even know what we want or what we need.
Okay, so what does all this mean in the real world? What are the actual consequences of this internal shutdown? I mean, losing that connection to yourself, it's not some abstract idea. It has profound and sometimes devastating effects on a person's everyday life.
For one, it can lead to something called alexithymia. I mean, think about it. If you can't feel the physical sensations that tell you you're feeling an emotion, that tightness in your chest for anxiety, or that warmth for affection, how can you possibly know what you're feeling? You see people who might look absolutely furious but swear up and down that they're fine, and they're not lying. They genuinely can't read the signals from their own bodies. And in really extreme cases, you get what's called depersonalization. This is that bizarre, unsettling feeling of floating outside of your body, watching your life play out as if it's happening to someone else. It's like the brain's final emergency escape hatch for when reality just becomes too much to handle, leaving you feeling like a ghost in your own life. So when all those internal alarms and distress signals are silenced, they don't just vanish into thin air. Just like the title of Dr. Kolk's book says, the body keeps the score. All that trapped energy and turmoil, it has to go somewhere. And often it shows up as real, chronic physical pain and illness as that constant state of high alert just wears the body down. And this really gets to the heart of the matter for so many survivors. When your own physical feelings, your own body, become a source of pain and terror, it stops feeling like a safe place to live. It can start to feel like the enemy. So where do you even begin to heal from that? So let's talk about recovery, because the path forward isn't about trying to erase the past or just get over it. It's all about changing your relationship with your body. It's about reclaiming your physical self and learning step by step how to feel safe in your own skin again. So healing really starts by very gently turning that inner watchtower back on. And it doesn't start with talking and analyzing everything, but just with paying attention. It's about approaching your body with curiosity instead of fear. The process is all about noticing physical feelings without judging them, seeing them as waves that come and go, and eventually learning to befriend your inner world instead of constantly fighting it. And as you do this, you start to rebuild something absolutely crucial: agency. Agency is that feeling that you're in the driver's seat of your own life, not just being tossed around by circumstances. And it all starts with interoception, with getting that internal compass back. Once you can feel what's happening inside you, you can start to understand why. And that's how you begin to navigate your world with purpose again. Dr. Kolk just sums it up so perfectly. This is the real challenge and the real goal. It's about taking back ownership. It's about going from a place where your body is this living museum of past trauma to a place where it's a source of strength and pleasure and aliveness right here in the present. And that leaves us with a final thought, a question to really sit with. Beyond just not feeling pain or fear, what would it actually mean and feel like to be truly, completely at home in your own skin? The path there can be long, for sure, but as we've talked about today, understanding what's happening is always the most powerful first step. Thanks so much for joining us for this MediByte explainer. If this was helpful or made you think, please go ahead and like this, share it with someone who might need to hear it, and subscribe to the MediByte channel for more deep dives into our health and the human experience. We'll see you in the next one.